They tell us to be careful what we say so we don't offend anybody, because nobody wants to be told how to live their lives. And while they say they want the truth, it's the very same thing they deny. Teachers with itching ears, and all they want to hear is things that'll make them smile. Cupcake, sugar-coated, politically correct lines. But hey, I'm a Christian, not a politician. I'm not here to feed you lies. They don't understand when we say the clock's ticking and we're running out of time. That's because it's all a joke to them and we're the punchline. And so when I mention Jesus and I say that he's risen, they tell me not to say that too loud because somebody might be listening. But hey, that's the point. I want them to hear it. And if they don't believe it, well then why do they fear it? Our responsibility is to send a message to the people. And oh well, if they don't believe you, then spoiler alert, I guess they'll find out in the sequel. And that's the second coming. And while I hate to spoil it for you, at least you can't tell us that we didn't say something. And I heard it said like this: what we don't learn from a past, well then it's bound to happen again. You see, Sodom and Gomorrah, it was a city full of sin. And God saw the corruption, so he brought it to an end. And today, this world is full of corruption, and it's headed for a path of destruction. They replace love with lust. But hold up, some of the blame falls on us. Because they tell us to hush, so we sit back and do nothing. We say enough's enough, but when is it really enough? You see, the preachers don't preach hell, and the world playing show and tell because money, sex, and drugs sell. While mom and dad just want to yell, and the church is saying, oh well. And as we lay our head in the lap of Delilah, we listen to the lullabies and the fairy tales. We must be tripping because somehow we fell. And without even trying, well then we've already failed. But don't let your failure be your finale. I know it's hard to face this sad reality, but don't get this confused. I'm not just talking to you, because this message applies to me too. And now we're worried that the preacher's stepping on their toes while we're just sitting in the pew. Worried that somebody might get mud all over our brand new shoes. But maybe our feet wouldn't be there if we weren't too comfortable to get up and move. And don't depend on just your religious views, because religion by itself is not enough to get you through. See, faith without works, it might as well be dead. And instead of putting our hands to the plow, we're too busy lying in bed. And while the very things we fought so hard to get are now slipping away. And instead of blaming ourselves, we're looking for someone else to blame. See, Hollywood can say whatever they want to make fun of Christ, but if you say something about somebody's mama, then somebody's ready to fight. We fight over nothing, but when push comes to shoving, we're too scared to throw the punches, so we turn and start running our mouths, talking loud. But when it comes time to lift up a voice, we don't even make a sound. And now this world is a circus and it's surrounded by clowns, painting smiles on their face just to disguise the frown. And there's plenty of other things that are hiding in the background. And it's obvious there's an elephant in the room, but we're too busy pretending it's not around. And now they're laughing at us, looking at us like we're the clown, because we're the ones that have backed down, sat down, round of applause, so we clap now. Too busy to see what's going on, too busy to realize it's a trap now. And so, the show goes on as they try to entertain us by stepping into the cage to tame a lion with a chair and a whip. And I guess it's all work because we keep a closed lip. 2 pennies for your 2 cents and talk is cheap, so don't be a hypocrite. We say a lot of things, but don't just say it, live it. We talk bold, but when the cards is dealt, we fold. Gambling with borrowed time and things we don't even own. And no matter how much you got, you can't pay for it on your own. Double or nothing, and it will all go down crumbling. They don't realize it's just a temporary loan. Somehow they try to convince us of this, that all truth exists, but it's about a relationship, not about religion. And with all the debt we owe, we couldn't afford to pay the price of admission. But somehow we think we've earned the right to forgiveness. But he's the only one that can pay the price for your sinning. And somehow he loved us so much he was willing to die for the unworthy. That's you and me, undeserving, but yet he still showed us grace and mercy. And because of that, now we've been called for a higher purpose. And no, it's not to join the circus, but beware, there's a devil seeking and he's lurking. He's selling lies and he's searching for anyone who will purchase. But the price is your life, but some still think that it's worth it. But the price is too high for something so worthless. Addictions without convictions, and somehow they've been convinced they can do whatever makes them happy, there is no consequence. Sin's got them blinded. They committed a crime, but they don't see the obvious. And that's where we come in, to be a shining light in this world full of darkness. There's chaos in the world and there's no order in the court. And somehow they can kill an unborn baby and call it choice. Same-sex marriage is now part of the norm. while men and women all over are getting a divorce. They tell us we come from monkeys and that's how we were formed. They claim freedom of speech, but the Christians don't have a voice. The world talks religion, but they don't know the main source. They serve many masters, but there's only one Lord. But in spite of all this chaos, I got some good news to report. See, we live in this crazy world, but it's not a final home. And the good news is, they can't take what we own. Cause it was given from above and he sits high on the throne. And that which the builders refused is now the chief cornerstone. And it stood the test of time and it's still standing strong. And that's the foundation that we plan to feed on. And so sometimes we gotta stand tall even if we stand alone. Until they put us in the grave, it's time to make them known. It's time to break the silence, we've been quiet for too long.